All right, so the preseason is underway, and the Lakers have shown us some things, so let's break it down. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the bright spots. Jared Vanderbilt looks awesome. Vanderbilt looks to be back. After injuries that derailed him last season, he's turning heads again in camp and these early games. Against the Warriors on October 5th, he dropped 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in just 21 minutes. His defensive IQ is popping, contesting shots, jumping passing lanes, disrupting plays. JJ Redick even hyped him up post-Suns game, saying he was a bright spot tonight. I thought his physicality, disruption defensively was good. And after the Warriors loss, Redick said it's night and day with Vando's body and shot work this summer. If he hits this 3 consistently, it unlocks a lot. All in all, I'm so excited to see Vando come back into form. If we can even get 80% of what Vanderbilt was when he was originally starting for us after the Russell Westbrook trade, I think that would be a massive, massive boost for this Lakers team that is desperately in need of athletes, of dudes that can guard around the perimeter. As JJ has noted, he wants to put Vando in perimeter-like defenses instead of what he was devolved into last season, which is more of front court support. All in all, I'm so excited about Vando's performance so far this season. This is one of the off seasons where he wasn't focused on rehab or recovery. He was able to really focus on his game and his craft, and hopefully he continues to build upon that. You know, building blocks are very important in terms of his offensive skill and utility, because that ultimately will be able to keep him out on the floor longer. Now let's talk about the most polarizing acquisition in the Lakers free agency and offseason, and that's Deandre Ayton. He's looked locked in on defense. He's not focused on his offense or chasing buckets, but he's really protected the rim extremely well. He's owning the backboards. In his debut against the Suns, his former team, he had 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal, and it was all defensive impact. If you want to do a deep dive of the players that he's playing alongside with, it's not really reality in terms of the players that he will be with, but the fact that he's able to hold his own and show an immense strength on the rim protection side, that's really good to see. And against Golden State, he had 7.7 boards, 2 blocks in 19 minutes. He even had a block. He even had a block on a Draymond Green 3-point shot attempt, which was pretty cool to see. His mindset's clear. He's saying that he's here to anchor the paint in close possessions. JJ said that Reaves was the only true playmaker available, but we'll get there in terms of Ayton's offensive struggle, so which I'm not worried about at all. And truthfully speaking, with Ayton's mobility, JJ wants him higher on screens. He's able to play drop a touch higher and really command the glass and be able to continue to protect the paint and the rim. So far, you know, the fact that Ayton is taking a concerted effort on being so focused and hell-bent on his defensive assignments and protecting the back line defensively, that's really cool to see. Really important to see that buy-in from him, because I'm not worried about his offense. His offense will come. You know, when he's playing alongside Luka, LeBron, and Reaves, all the attention is going to be paid to those guys, and the defense will be collapsed or at some sort of disadvantage where Ayton's going to be able to either, you know, pick the defense apart from the glass standpoint, or he's finishing a lot of the plays that are easy buckets. And then there's Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves came out first game in the preseason, and that boy was cooking. He had all the hezzies, he had all the tweens, the pivots, the footwork, all that down, and whenever he needed and whenever he wanted, he could get whatever basket he wanted to get to. This dude was spectacular in game 1 against Phoenix. Even without LeBron, Luka, or Marcus Smart, Reaves took over 18 points in the first half on 5 of 8 shooting, a perfect 7 of 7 at the line, and he ran the offense like a veteran. Overall, in 20 minutes, he finished with 20 points, 2 assists, and Redick called him a bright spot offensively, especially feeding Ayton in 2-man actions. So yeah, between Vando's hustle, Vando's motor, Ayton's defense and rim protection, and Reaves just looking fluid, looking healthy, it looks completely different from the Minnesota Timberwolves series. these are the legit bright spots that we can really call on to this early in the preseason without seeing Luka, without seeing LeBron, and even Marcus Smart. Now let's keep it real. Let's talk about the bad. LeBron James and Luka Doncic have not played yet. Between load management and injury care, they're, obviously being cautious with Luka playing in the Eurobasket tournament and LeBron entering, uncharted waters, uncharted territory in terms of his timeline and years of service. This is all par for the course, but as a fan, I'd like to see, LeBron and Luka and all these guys meshing early here and playing more basketball together, because the more they play now, the better it is for the long term. And with LeBron, he's taking a longer ramp up per ESPN, and Luka is still nursing this calf, but I don't think that's anything that's serious or worth noting. Redick even hinted that LeBron might skip more preseason games to focus on chemistry later. Now, I'm not completely worried about LeBron. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can fit in, one way or another. But, without them, we haven't seen the full Lakers in concert, right? We haven't seen the core in action, which as fans, you'd like to see that, right? You want to see all these players coming together, what's meshing, what's not, and really be able to react to it now, rather than, come game 1 of 82. So, honestly, that is a big what if right now. It's hovering around all of this. So, for now, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Golden State, the retirement home team, played all their starters, even though they signed Big Al and all these guys because of the Jonathan Kuminga holdout like a few days ago. They're all ready to go, and they played. Albeit short stints, short minutes, but so I guess here's a narrative, right? Here's the story, right? Are the Lakers just being overly cautious, or are they not taking preseason seriously? Whereas the Warriors could take that same similar approach of being cautious, given that their team is super, super old, but they're still rolling out all their players. The Lakers, they're missing out on their top dogs playing basketball right now. And let's talk about the ugly. Here's where it gets rough. The Lakers still don't have a lot of athleticism showing. Not much is popping on the screen. Sure, again, this is a big caveat, and we talked about it in the last segment, but not everyone's played yet, and you can see it. There isn't enough rim pressure. You don't see the quickness and burst defensively. Against Golden State, they gave up 18 fast break points, and they struggled to contest the rim when Ayton sat. Even though Jackson Hayes, him putting on more muscle and weight to his body, that did help. It did look good. But, what concerns me is JJ Redick coming and admitting after the Suns game and saying that, we just haven't had enough time. Shots will come and go. It's the preseason. But he also noted that the Suns came prepared more so than the Lakers. That to me is a little alarming. Why is it that the Suns came out more organized, more prepared, when the Suns just hired a new coach? Jordan Ott, who was an assistant under Darvin Ham for the Lakers, just joined the Suns. So why are they more prepared than the Lakers? This is year 2 for JJ's staff. So I expected a little bit more, and maybe those comments came tongue-in-cheek, but I didn't like to hear it. I don't like the optics of hearing that, where you talk about another team being a little bit more organized than your own team. And I did hear that the Suns had a little bit more time because they're going to be playing some preseason games abroad, so they had a little bit earlier window to their training camp and practices. But still, the optics don't look great to me, in my opinion. And then there's Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht. Scoring flashes, here and there, sure. But the shot selection and defense is still so rough. Against the Warriors, he shot 3 for 11, 9.6 boards, no steals. And across 2 games, he's at 23.8% from the field and 21.4% from deep. These are the moments where I'd like to see him just go out there and hoop like the prospect that he is. JJ came to Dalton's defense and mentioned that he probably pushed too much during the summer. But I'd like to see this potential. I'd like to see it be tapped. And him, increase his awareness defensively, his awareness from the IQ standpoint, putting himself in better positions to score the basketball. So it's early, I get it, but where does that leave us? Where does that leave us as Lakers fans and the Lakers team? It's early, it's the preseason, we're missing stars, there's rust everywhere, but the floor is clear. Vando and Ayton are setting the defensive tone, Reaves looks sharp, and the rest, we're still sorting things out. The Lakers are 0-2 so far. They lost to Phoenix 103-81 and 111-103 against the Golden State Warriors. And, honestly, JJ summed it up perfectly. They're playing much better. The competitiveness is increasing. But overall, we'll get there. I'm very confident. Look, guys, it is October. It is so far a mixed bag. I'll pose a question to you guys. So Lakers fans and Rings and Things fam, what's your take? Are these good signs or just preseason smoke and mirrors? What worries you most? The depth, the athleticism, or Dalton's growing pains? Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you're new here, welcome to Rings and Things, where banners aren't optional, they're tradition. Peace.